Hello, and thank you for joining me for this special Grandiloquent Word of the Day Halloween edition. As the eerie enchantment of spooky season sadly draws to an end, we recap some of the weird and wonderful words featured throughout the month of October. Let us start with the word moribund, an adjective meaning at the point of death, or in a state of inactivity or obsolescence. An example sentence might be,
In the shadowy depths of the ancient moribund library, the cobweb-draped tome whispered arcane secrets to those daring enough to decipher its cryptic pages.
And from there, we moved on to tyrotoxism, which is a noun meaning death by cheese, i.e. poisoning by cheese or other dairy products that have either gone bad or were not properly processed to begin with. A possible example sentence for this might go like,
She laced his usual digestive, cognac, with arsenic, but the autopsy shows that tyrotoxism did him in before he could drink any of it. Therefore, technically, she is not guilty of homicide.
Then we talked about the word athanasia, a noun that refers to deathlessness or immortality as a state or quality of being. Our example sentence here was,
Mark my words, Wendell, with the imbibement of the elixir within this vial, I shall finally achieve that which has been the single greatest hominal desideratum since the very dawn of time. Athanasia.
And after that, we discussed the word revenant, a suitable noun for Halloween, because a revenant is a person who has returned, especially supposedly from the dead. Or it can also mean simply one that returns after a long absence. Our sentence here was,
The revenant emerged from the shadows, whispering malevolent curses from beyond the grave.
Corporeal was our next word, a lovely adjective that refers to or relates to a person's physical, flesh and bone body as opposed to their spirit. It also means physical, material, bodily, or fleshly. To exemplify this sentence, we went with,
Lost and wandering through the catacombs beneath the abandoned asylum, I shivered as my soul struggled to escape its corporeal prison as faint, shuffling footsteps began echoing through the galleries.
Now, here is where we dig a bit deeper into the realm of horror, with the word eldritch. Eldritch is a gruesome adjective that is perfect for Halloween because it means hideous, ghastly, weird, or spooky. Our rather descriptive example sentence was,
Moonlight cast eldritch shadows upon the dilapidated mansion, while ghostly whispers and creaking floorboards echoed through its tenebrous corridors.
Here we move on from the word eldritch to the word phasmophobia, a noun that means an intense, persistent, irrational fear of ghosts and incorporeal phantasms. The somewhat unsavory example sentence is,
His phasmophobia was the one thing keeping him from a successful, if somewhat unremunerative career, as the night watchman at the county morgue.
Let's talk about that which is called, in Scots Gaelic, a bodock. The word bodock is a noun. It is a mysterious and malevolent spirit, often appearing as a premonition of death or disaster, a ghost, a specter. As an example sentence, one might say,
I thought it was Aunt Jenny in the corner, but when I asked her why she was standing there, all alone in the dark, the bodock screeched and vanished.
After that, we featured the word demonifuge. Demonifuge is a noun that refers to anything believed to give protection against or exorcise demons or evil spirits. It can take the form of a charm or any other supposed protection against demons. The example sentence for demonifuge is,
If Father Karras had used a more efficacious demonifuge, the movie would have been pretty darn anticlimactic.
It is at this point that we tackle one of the more polysyllabic words on our list, triskaidekaphobia, a noun, which means an overwhelming fear of the number 13, stemming from a superstitious belief that it is an unlucky number. An appropriate example sentence would sound like this.
Niles was a nuptial no-show when he realized that his beloved Ophelia, unaware of his triskaidekaphobia, had scheduled their doomed wedding for Friday the 13th.
Now, let us discuss for a moment the supernatural strumpet known as a succubus. The word succubus is a noun, meaning a demon assuming female form in order to engage in coition with sleeping men. Our sentence here is,
The succubus returned the next night, but this time I was prepared with an assortment of scented candles, flavored oils, chocolates, and mood music.
After too many visits from a succubus, you may very well be due to make acquaintances with our next word, psychopomp. A psychopomp is one who guides or escorts the soul of the deceased to the afterlife, a charon. Our jocular example sentence is,
Simon the snarky psychopomp chauffeurs souls while cackling cantankerous commentary on their lackluster life choices during the ride into the afterlife.
Did you know that there's a word for the box containing the instruments and paraphernalia used by a spiritualist during a seance? Well, there is, and that word is Yogi Bogey Box, and here's how to use it in a sentence.
The attendees of the seance were struck dumb as the Yogi Boggy Box itself rose off the table, while a deep, distant voice, thick with decay, emanated from the silver horn.
An eidolon is a spirit image of a person, living or dead, a shade or phantom look-alike similar to a doppelganger, a ghost, a phantom, an apparition. A rather charged example sentence is,
But sweetie, you just have to know it wasn't me that you saw kissing your sister. It must have been some kind of eidolon.
Let's leave those two to figure out who was kissing whom as we talk about the word ostentiferous. Ostentiferous is an adjective that describes that which brings monsters or strange sights, or bringing omens or unnatural or supernatural manifestations. Used in a sentence,
The book has been locked away for centuries, its ostentiferous properties having been deemed too dangerous to risk having it fall into the wrong hands.
The next creepy Halloween word is guy trash. Guy trash is a noun meaning a ghost or spirit that takes the form of an animal. The potentially useful sentence for this word is,
I know it sounds crazy, but I swear I was chased all the way home by a great lumbering guy trash.
The noun lycanthrope is a person affected with lycanthropy, i.e., a werewolf, or a shapeshifter who can take on the characteristics of a wolf. Some may find the following example sentence to be particularly elucidating.
A week after the wedding, Jillian found herself cleaning the shower drain for the third time, while wondering if she'd somehow managed to marry herself a lycanthrope.
Things are getting a little fishy with our next word, leviathan. A noun, leviathan means a sea monster, or any huge marine animal, such as a whale. It also means anything of immense size and power. Our alliterative example sentence goes like this.
Lenny the loquacious Leviathan loudly lambasted the lethargic lobsters who lost his luggage in Las Vegas, lamenting the loss of his lemon-lime lollipops.
We come now to the word dracontology, which is a noun referring to a branch of cryptozoology that focuses on the study of dragons and water serpents. The use of dracontology in a sentence goes like,
Maurice bought a book on dracontology, hoping that it would help him gain some insight into the aloof behavior of his pet bearded dragon.
The next word on our Halloween hit parade is an oddly specific variety of ghost called a Bomalak. This word is clearly a noun, and it means a grisly ghost, known for bushy and menacing eyebrows. We have another delightfully alliterative example sentence with
Blaine the bushy-browed Bamalik bent over and blew his brass bugle with his bulbous but bedraggled bahuki.
The word pneumatophony is a noun that refers to the disembodied voices of the dead or other entities from the spirit realm. To use the word pneumatophony in a sentence, I decided to go with
Frozen in terror, Deirdre shivered beneath the covers as the discorporate voice of a child came closer, ever closer, until at last the source of the eldritch pneumatophony, her grizzled grimalkin, leaped upon the duvet.
And now for our next spooky noun. A Drogulus is an entity whose presence is unverifiable because it has no physical effects. A ghost. Using the plural form of the word in our example sentence, we get
Even though the house was absolutely packed to the rafters with foul-tempered Droguli, the children went on playing, happily oblivious to the presence of the irascible inhabitants.
Now let's see. The next word on our Halloween list of spooky words is unseelie. Unseelie is both a noun and an adjective. As a noun, it means a malevolent or malicious fairy, and the adjectival form means of or pertaining to the unseelie. It also means malevolent as a fairy, etc. Used in a sentence, it goes,
Each night, as June slept, the jealous unseelie crept out from under the chifforobe and proceeded to tie knots in her hair, file her nails to uneven lengths, and move her into odd positions, so she'd wake up stiff and sore.
With this next pair of nouns, we encounter a couple of waggishly satirical monsters. The first of the pair is called a Chishvash, which is a medieval monster said to have fed exclusively upon the flesh of patient wives and was therefore very lean. Our wry example sentence is,
Oh, don't you worry your pretty little head, darling. You are certainly safe from the gaping maw of the Chishvash.
Then comes the counterpart creature, known as a bicorn. A bicorn is a medieval two-horned monster said to have fed exclusively upon the flesh of patient husbands and has therefore grown very large. Yeah, right. The equally wry retort is,
Oh yeah? Well, don't bother trying to hide if you see a bicorn coming your way, for I assure you that you are likewise quite safe.
Let us now ponder a different kind of cow called a worry cow. A worry cow is a scarecrow, hobgoblin, demon, or bugbear. It can also refer directly to the actual devil or a bogeyman. To demonstrate this word in a sentence, we have
Joey's anxiety increased as each day brought him closer to Halloween, the day that he was convinced the worry cow under his bed would finally pounce.
Well, I suppose it's time to stop clowning around and get to our final featured word of the day for the spooky month of October. And that word is coulrophobia. Coulrophobia is an abnormal or exaggerated fear of clowns. I'm pretty sure there have always been a few people here and there who were put off or made uneasy in the presence of clowns, but certainly John Wayne Gacy didn't do any favors for the public opinion of clowns with his jolly alter ego, Pogo the Clown. Then, of course, there's the master of horror, Stephen King, who may be blamed for further stoking the fires of this phobia when he wrote his famous novel about the man-eating creature who went about dressed as a clown. And our final example sentence is,
I think that coulrophobia is a bogus word because there's no such thing as an abnormal fear of clowns. All fear of clowns is perfectly justified.
And on that colorful note, we conclude our recap of my favorite grandiloquent words for October 2023. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more videos soon.
Watch one of our newest videos here. More videos are coming soon. So subscribe to our channel and hit that bell so you don't miss a single one. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Links posted below.